So are you wondering who you do not want to draft this year? Well, then stick around because Jason and I are going to be telling you who we don't want on our teams, aka busts. We're going to be drinking and doing that, and I'll see you in 12 seconds. What's up, fantasy people? It's 12 seconds later, and this is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolk, coming at you live from the West Side. And this is the Fantasy Football Show. Today's episode, we're going to go over our biggest busts for the 2023 season. And, these players might actually do well, but at their ADP, I don't like the players that they're being selected around and stuff like that. And there's just a lot of risk inherent in these players. And there's a good chance that they might screw you. Sorry, guys. I've been drinking. Also, Jason, I told you I'm going to premise this before the show.
Yeah.
I've been fighting for a raise at my job for the last 5 years. I just learned today that I did not get it. So I've been drinking and upset. So if I seem off, donate some money or subscribe. Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show.
You can help the show by subscribing or donating money for Tyler. You can also, I kind of lost my train of thought because I thought I was going to see a reaction out of you, but obviously Tyler's not talking to me. Ray must be right there.
Sorry, my wife is like, should you turn on the fan? And I'm like, could you turn it on like 3 notches?
No, I was like, I'm gonna help Tyler out. I'm gonna bump him up. Anyway, if you could hit the subscribe, press the like. We like the likes. If you can leave us a comment, let us know if you like these busts or you agree with these busts. Let us know in the comments. And if you like the radio, we're also on Spotify, the Fantasy Football and Show.
Also, hey, if you guys hate your bosses in like the whole process of everything and everything about your job, leave a comment and tell us what you hate about it. Because it might feel good hearing about some other people that hate their job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jason, let's get right into this. All right, so we're talking about busts, and I remember the biggest bust last year. You're probably gonna ask me this, Jason. I feel the heat. I smell the smoke, and I did that wrong. It's I smell the smoke. I feel the heat. It's time for that barbecue question of the week.
This is the barbecue question of the week, where we answer the questions that you want to know. And this week's question, Tyler, who do you think was the biggest bust for last year?
Well, just because, dude, you know, and I know. It was Jonathan Taylor, and I'm pretty sure he came back and scored like 3 points, 3.7 points or something like that. God dang it, I had it written down. Sorry, guys, I'm upset. He did terrible. So he lingered around the whole year. He was a lingerer. It's not like they just put him on IR and said forget about him. And he was like 20 points, 20 points, 20 points, and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to win the championship with him. And then I think he scored 3.7 points in the first round of playoffs. God awful, dude. So when you do the number one pick, part of the reason, Jason, if you watch that number one pick is cursed, it kills you, dude. And we're going to go over it, but it reduces your odds. If you're in the number one draft pick over the last 4 years, it reduces your odds to win the championship of 2%. It's insane. So there you go, Jason.
Yeah, I think he's probably the biggest one from last year, but in the first round, there was multiple busts.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Najee Harris was definitely one of them.
Pick 7.
Yep, and then there was another one that I am going to talk about later in this show. So stay tuned till the end of the episode.
All right, Jason. Teasers Pleasers coming out of Jason.
Yeah.
Do you know what Teasers Pleasers is?
Yeah, isn't that like a
strip club in Bakersfield?
Strip club in Bakersfield. Yeah.
Came out when I was too old. I was like, I'm not going to strip clubs. I'm like 20-something, dude. All right, Jason.
Yeah.
Who is your first sleeper? Let me erase all my cool artwork.
Okay. This is somebody that I think me and Steve Smith.
Who's your first bust? It's a bust.
Bust. I think me and Steve Smith had the same idea with this guy.
I love Steve Smith. I will listen to Steve Smith.
Well, it's because of a video that he put out 4 years ago. But DJ Moore. And this is a guy that I'm actually I don't understand the hype on this guy. And there was this video of Steve Smith when he was at training camp, or maybe just a practice I think it was just a practice, at the Carolina Panthers. And he was talking to Cam Newton, and he was DJ Moore was kind of off in the distance, but could hear what they were talking about. And he was like, Cam Newton, would I start this guy? So he's like, I'm not going to start him in the number 2 spot. Should I start him in the flex? And Cam Newton's just like, what the heck is the flex? And the whole time he was talking about DJ Moore. He didn't know where to start him. He's like, is he a number 2? Is he a flex on this team? I don't know. He went up to DJ Moore and he was like, should I start you or should I start John Brown? And DJ Moore was just like, start me. Start me. Start me. It's a video. It's a thing. I saved it on my Instagram, but I'm the same way. I'm just like, where do I want this guy on my team? Do I want this guy on my team? Last year, his ADP was the 4th round, and he averaged 9 points a game. His ADP has dropped to the 5th round this year. All right, so DJ's had 8 weeks where he didn't score more than 7 points in a half-point PPR. So he has a pretty low floor. He had a few weeks that were under 3 points, and that's not going to win you any games. But there's that famous game against Atlanta when it went in overtime. He had the Hail Mary catch, so he had some big weeks where he did score over 18 points. I think it was about he did that 3 times last year. He was tied for 8th in 20-plus yard receptions, which that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Justin Fields, however, is 22nd in the league in deep ball completion percentage at 35%. That's not very good when he's throwing 20 yards, and that's apparently DJ's specialty. So we're probably going to see a lot of short completions with Justin Fields as quarterback, but DJ Moore will need to kind of work on his running after the catch because last year he only averaged 3.1 yards after the catch last season. It was not good. It was very, very low. And also DJ Moore will be battling for targets with Darnell Mooney. Remember that guy? He's still there. Chase Claypool and Cole Kmet. And the Bears are definitely a run-first team.
Robert Tonyan, Jason. I forgot that Robert. People keep on talking about Cole Kmet. I'm like, you remember they traded for Robert Tonyan?
Yeah, the red zone assassin. He's on there too. And the Bears are definitely a run-first team. They averaged 177 yards a game last year. And so DJ's totals last year was 63, 888, and 7 touchdowns. And I don't believe he's going to top that. I don't believe he's going to top 1,000 yards, and I don't believe he's going to top 7 touchdowns this upcoming year. I believe DJ Moore should be in the 7th round, and I would rather get Deontay Johnson and Amari Cooper before him.
For sure, dude. Especially when you think of offensive lines. Deontay Johnson has they really, but they do have Paris Campbell. I think I can't remember who the Bears drafted in the 1st round, but the dude DJ Moore is a 1st round draft pick, and I remember this. He pretty much has 3 seasons in a row of 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns, and people were like, when is he going to break out with more touchdowns? Oh my god, dude. You're getting a deal because he's going to break out. Well, he had 7 touchdowns last year, but he only had 900 yards.
Yeah,
and I remember I was reading this.
You round up.
Yeah, and
we round up.
And I was reading this article. I think it might have been a Reddit thing, but they were comparing, Baker Mayfield and the conglomerate of quarterbacks in Carolina last year with Justin Fields' stats from this year, and they're like, dude, everything that Justin Fields does is worse, pretty much. Than the passing that the Carolina Panthers had, and they lead the league in rushing. So not only are you going to get a Baker Mayfield type of arm, but you're going to get a guy like Baker Mayfield that runs every other play. So,
yeah,
I don't like where DJ Moore is going where his ADP is, but it would not surprise me, Jason, if he ended up maybe a top 10 wide receiver. I do think that he is talented. I really like DJ Moore.
I think this is
I just don't like the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. And I think I would be surprised if he was a top 10 wide receiver, but it's not because of him. I like DJ Moore. It's because Justin Fields is not a very good thrower, and I think his career the last 2 years, 59% completion percentage with Justin Fields.
Not good, dude. It's like Baker Mayfield-ish, dude.
That's horrible.
But he runs.
The Browns they worked on their offensive line, and they got Darnell White from Tennessee last year. So they did improve we're hoping they improve their offensive line, but I think it's going to be more for running, dude. They also drafted that running back from Texas. They also got Deonta Foreman from the Panthers, they want to run this ball. And it shows that Justin Fields cannot throw deep, 35% in the league. That's awful. I just don't see it. I don't see his ADP in the 4th round. That's too high of a risk for me.
Yeah, I think people are just living off of that 2021 DJ Moore when he had 163 targets, Jason.
Yeah.
Which was probably top 5 in the league if I had to guess, because that's a ton of targets. So he has been great before, but it's just, dude, I'm not looking to go out and get some of the Bears wide receivers. You know what I'm saying?
And last year, he was the number 1 option on that Panthers team. There was really, I think the second person was, Terrence Marshall Jr., who had like 40 receptions less than DJ. So now he's going to a team that has players, and it's a run-first team. I just don't like it. I don't like it. Sorry. It bothers me because I don't understand what people think or what they see. They see more of the talent than the team.
Yeah. All right, Jason.
Okay.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I just wrote it up there. Rachaad White, man. So Rachaad White was somebody I was hyping all off season. And then they got Baker Mayfield, and you started showing me videos. I was like, dude. Yeah. And it's like, so Rachaad White had 50 receptions last year, right? That was 11th for running backs. That's great. And you're like, oh my God, dude, that's his strength. He's going to come back and kill it. Dude, Baker Mayfield didn't even throw to Christian McCaffrey, okay? He's not going to throw to freaking Rachaad White. It sucks. That's the way it is. Rachaad White is being drafted as running back 18 right now, ahead of Miles Sanders, Kenneth Walker, Alexander Madison, Pacheco. He is 30 picks ahead of Montgomery. Dude, are you kidding me? And Montgomery has like a top 5 offensive line, a top 5 offense. And this dude is probably like, running back 1, but still, dude, this a terrible offensive line. 26th rated offensive line in 2023. You got Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. And if you watch the videos, dude, oh my God, I might as well, you and I might as well be out there trying to pick our nose, dude, and throw boogers at these wide receivers.
I'm actually going out to Tampa Bay next week to try out.
Jason,
yeah.
Dude, okay. He's the same round as Herbert and Ridley. So it's not only about the running backs he's going ahead of, it's about the wide receivers and quarterbacks that you can get at a same round. And then this is what kind of killed it for me, Jason. The Bucs were dead last in rushing yards last season with 1,308. They were dead last in rushing attempts, 386. They were dead last in rushing yards per attempt, 3.4. They were dead last in rushing touchdowns with 5. Dude, the Eagles had 32 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
That is insane. They had the 12th ranked strength of schedule this season, but dude, I don't care. Their offensive line is god-awful. Baker Mayfield is god-awful. You don't even get the reception points because Baker Mayfield doesn't throw to running backs. So, yeah. As much as I was hyping up, his ADP is 55, dude. So it's like, I don't know, 5th round in 12-man league. Screw that, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I do not want any Rachaad White for that price. Give me him in like the 8th round for all that crap I'm carrying.
Yeah. They had, Tom Brady like broke records for how many passing attempts he completed or attempted last year, right? Wasn't like some crazy amount, like 40 a game, 50 a game in one game. They did not run. They had a terrible offensive line. Now they got Baker Mayfield back there who doesn't throw to the running back. There's no way that I'm going to be getting this guy before these other players that you mentioned. It just doesn't make sense. He is going to be the starter for that team. So it is like someone that you may want to think about, but where you're talking about, Tyler, not a chance in hell.
Like, that's way too early. Yeah, and I almost view him as like a James Conner. Like, yeah, he's a starter on the worst team ever.
Yeah,
but exactly. It's like, at least Kyler Murray's going to come back, And if Kyler Murray comes back, that's some hope. It's like it'd be like John Connor with Colt McCoy the entire season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. The Buccaneers did get that offensive lineman that you like with that.
I love that, and I think Tristan Wirtz is coming back. But dude, that's great. Maybe they'll make the top. Maybe they'll be in the middle of offensive lines this year, but they need to be like top 5 for it to make a difference with Baker Mayfield behind there.
Yeah, and we'll see what that happens with.
So what do you got going on next? What do you got going on next, Jason?
All right, next one, another wide receiver. This one I'm not too upset about like I was with DJ Moore. That one really buttered my biscuit. This one is T. Higgins.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, T. Higgins last year was in the 4th round. That was his ADP, and he averaged 11.5 points per game. And because of that, he climbed up to the 3rd round in 2023, his ADP. Still blows my mind a little bit. I believe it is a little bit too early to be grabbing T. Higgins. The wide receivers drafted around him or after him was DK Metcalf and Chris Olave. Yes, please give me them. Higgins did have 4 weeks that he played, and he tallied less than 3 receptions. So he was like out in the field just running because he was not getting receptions. Less than 3. That's not good. I don't want that in the 3rd round. I don't want that as a 3rd round wide receiver. He does have a high ceiling. His ceiling's pretty high. He did get a couple of 20-point games last year. I believe most of his success comes at the expense of an injury to the Bengals' number 1 wide receiver, Jamar Chase. Higgins is a great number 2, but inconsistent with when Jamar Chase is healthy. His floor is too low for me, dog. Put that. His floor is too low for me, dog. I don't like it. I'll be aiming for a wide receiver 2 player no sooner than the 5th round, unless your name is Devontae Smith, who had 20 more receptions than T. Higgins did last year.
Dude, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Jason, I do want to include. He's going ahead of Keenan Allen. I think you said Amari Cooper. I mean, even Calvin Ridley, dude. I'm like, I mean, come on, dude. I would rather roll the dice, and not to mention Joe Burrow's calf strain, which is making me question even drafting Jamar Chase in the 1st round. Because Jamar Chase is like, hey man, like, hey, his voice is so high, dude. It's like those old videos of you in your bedroom when you're in 5th grade with your bleach blonde hair, Jason.
Yeah, I was setting fire to everything.
Hey, I don't care if Burrow comes back after week 5. As long as he's healthy, I did it last year. So I'm just like, dude. Yeah. So I mean, dude, if you're talking about your quarterback coming back after week 5 in the AFC, whatever, I don't know, man. It's like I'm so afraid of Joe Burrow right now. I'm thinking about knocking him down put him behind Herbert or something because of his calf injury. Because if he's out 5 games, dude, that's going to make a huge difference in your fantasy league.
Well, it's happening. I did like 3 mock drafts before I made this list, and
Burrow was falling.
Yeah, he was falling. He was going down to like the 5th round.
And Higgins, dude, oh my, you do not want Higgins if somebody else is behind center there. No thanks.
Right. The only reason why Higgins is even an option is because Joe Burrow throws for 35 touchdowns. Right? They throw the ball a lot, and so he's got to spread it out somehow. So that in some games he's going to get 0 receptions, and some games he's going to have 7 for 120 and 2 touchdowns. Very consistent, right?
All right, Jason, I've got another running back.
Okay, let's see.
And he is amazing, and it sucks. There was an article I was reading, and it's like it went over all like the top 15 draft picks of all time, and they're like the guy that lines up with us the most is Travis Etienne, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. So Travis Etienne, I do like him. Don't get me wrong. His ADP is at 35. He's being drafted as running back 11, right? Finished as running back 17 last year. And now he's being drafted ahead of Najee Harris, Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, Jamar Gibbs. I would rather have all of those people over ETN. He scored 9 points or less, Jason, in 50% of the games last year. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
In half of games, this fool scored 9 points or less.
I love this stat.
It's freaking crazy, dude. Lost his best offensive lineman, Jawan Taylor, in free agency to the Chiefs. And somebody told me some crap, some Jaguar fan, oh, Jawan Taylor sucks. Well, guess what, dude? The Chiefs wanted him to protect Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
They got rid of like Orlando Bloom for him, or Brown, whatever the hell his name is. So anyways, that sucks. They had the 27th ranked offensive line in 2023. That's terrible. He has 26th ranked strength of the schedule, Jason. That's not good. So the great, and there are great reports of the 3rd round, Jason. Doug Peterson drafted a running back. Etienne is not Doug Peterson's draft pick. He drafted Tank Bigsby in the 3rd round. And then they have JaMychal Hasty, who I like. Then they picked up Dearness Johnson from the Bears, who was like pretty damn good. So there you go. Etienne is the second highest drafted running back he's ever coached, right? Behind Ryan Matthews, who's a Bakersfield boy, and he was a first round draft pick in 2016. Matthews' attempts went up that time to 190 attempts if he was healthy all year. And then the next time was Miles Sanders. He coached, and Miles Sanders was the second round, and his pace in 2020 was 219 rushing attempts. That was really good. And Sanders actually, what did he do? He averaged 5.3 yards per carry that year. And Etienne averaged 5.1. So in a perfect world, dude, this guy is getting 220 carries. But if you remember, Jason, that Eagles offensive line was amazing with like Jason Kelsey and God, dude, the guy with the dog mask, Lane Johnson. So this is a totally different offensive line. And so I just want to throw that in there to just to cover my butt and add some hope to this guy. But dude, there are so many signs saying this guy is not going to do well, or dude, pick 35. That is in the third round of a 12-man draft, dude. That ain't happening for me. So I don't know how you feel about Etienne.
That ain't happening for me, dog. I like Etienne, right? I liked him going into this season, and I was like, this might be a guy that I would want to try to aim for until Doug Peterson was all, I want all the running backs. And he wants the...
He said that. Yep, he said that.
He wants the infinity gauntlet of running backs at his disposal. And when he said that, first you're like, okay, maybe he's just talking. Maybe he's just talking. But no, he went and signed, and then he went and draft players, and then you're just like, this isn't looking too good. And the reports out of camp right now is that Tank is doing pretty well.
He made the play of the day.
Yeah, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's running, he's catching, he's sliding, he's hurting, he's doing the dang thing. With all those players that you mentioned, I would not want to get Etienne before them. No, sorry. And one of the things is, Tyler, I think you said, what was the strength of schedule?
It was 26th.
Right. So, yes, they play the Houston Texans, who had the worst run defense last year, but they also play against the Titans twice, who had the best run defense last year. And I believe they play the Titans in the playoffs this upcoming season. So,
oh, good job, Jason.
Too risky from me. Too risky.
Oh my God. I screwed up, Jason. I'm listening to Keebler Elves. I think those are Keebler Elves. No, that's not Keebler Elves. All right, dude. Hit me with your next one.
Hit me with your next one. You know what, dude? I'm going to stay on the same team. Actually, not Jacksonville. I'm going to stay with the same team as T. Higgins. And I'm going to go to my most hated player of all time. The bust of all busts. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, I think I got him in the 9th in the first round last year. And this is the funniest stat of all time. They say he averaged 15 points per game.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
It's a 50-point game.
Oh, Tyler, you're taking my stats. You're taking my stats.
I got to pee so bad. I don't know what to think.
Woo! But he did drop to the 2-3 turn. I did 3 mock drafts yesterday, and that's kind of where he was going for this year. I had to change my team name to Joe Mixon Poop and Pee, because that's what I felt like when I had to watch Joe Mixon play. It was horrible. So I think people still talk about him just because he was running back 8 in points per game. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, why did his ADP fall, right? Why is he not still a first rounder? A quarter of his 2022 total points came from one game. He had 200 points last year, and in one game he had 50. So I subtract that game completely and did my math. And Mixon
only Jason, you're the beautiful mind.
Yeah, the beautiful mind. The beautiful face and the mind. And Mixon, take away that 150-point game, Mixon averaged 11 points per game, and that's trash for his ADP. God. That is trash. And with the Bengals being 7th in points per game last year and Mixon's talent, you think he would be better and worth another first-round pick. But He didn't surpass 1,000 rushing yards last year. Hell, he didn't even surpass 900 rushing yards last year, and he ended the season with a 4.0 yards per carry. And that's a little bit better from the first 9 games of the season where he averaged like 3.3. They said, okay, so Mixon was not, when we go back and talk about like, oh, he averaged like 15 points a game. Bro, Mixon was not capable of scoring 15 plus points in 9 out of his 14 games last year. And what we were saying, Tyler, that's well more than half his games that he played. He did not score 15 points. So the players that are going around him, Tyler, some of them you already kind of mentioned. Ramondre Stevenson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I would even get Najee Harris before I would get Joe Mixon. And you continue on. I watched a lot of Bengal games last year because, I had him, and he did not look good running. Samaje Perine looked a lot better running. But Mixon has value in the passing game. And we all know Joe Burrow. Joe gonna throw. And Mixon grabbed 60 balls out of 75 targets last year. He had 400 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Because of his volume and his 75 targets, I do like Joe Mixon around like the 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the argument for him was he's on the Bengals, and it's probably going to be a top 10 offensive line by the end of the year. And they have so many opportunities to score. Joe Burrow is an amazing quarterback. Jason, they drafted Chase Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of he's Canadian. He's 5'9", 227 pounds. I didn't know how big that fool was, dude. Like usually, if you're 5'9", you're not over. You're barely over 200. This fool is like well over that. And he's like people's favorite sleeper this year, dude. One of people's favorite sleepers.
We've had a few people comment about this guy.
5th round draft pick. So, I mean, there is so much opportunity for Joe Mixon. But dude, and then there's a report. I don't like reading about like people beating people and all that stuff. So I don't read it. But they're like, did you see the Joe Mixon report? Oh my God, it's terrible. So like, I'm still waiting for like maybe the NFL to react to that. I'm not really sure if that's going to happen or not. But that is kind of baked in there.
Yeah, he also has his legal issues again. I mean, you said it best, Tyler. He's on a powerhouse team that's going to score points, and he gets the volume. But his problem is he's inefficient with his volume. The only thing that's really saving him from not saying that he belongs in like the 7th round is that he does catch the ball. He does get receptions. If that wasn't the case, I'd be like, bro, don't even scoot this guy, push him out in the gutter, throw him in the trash. Wait till Tuesday's trash man to pick him up.
Scoot Henderson, do you know who that is?
I hate Joe Mixon. No, who?
He's dude. Aren't you a Portland fan now? The Trailblazers.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's that rookie they drafted out of the. He's badass, man.
Oh, he's the reason why Lillard wants out.
Yeah, because he's like,
yeah, like you literally just drafted a guy in my same position, huh? Nice.
Hey, dude, if you guys aren't Portland fans, live in Oregon for like I don't know, a couple months, and you'll become a Portland fan because they have no other sports. That's it. I was there. I was going to Oregon State when Brandon Roy injured himself in the playoffs. I was all eating dinner in the cafeteria or whatever. Everybody started crying, and I was like, what's going on? Like I was like 9/11 or something. It was Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, they care so much about the Trailblazers. It makes you a fan. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, right, right after that happened, I went to a confession for the first time in 7 years.
What, Brandon Royce? I was like, you weren't even in Oregon. You were in New Mexico, dog. You're all like...
I know. I did like him, though, on the 2K14 or whatever year it was.
All right, Jason. So this might ruffle some feathers, too. I've got 2 picks that might ruffle some feathers.
Nice.
Especially your daddy. Daddy. This guy's going around the same ADP, 38, which is still, that's like 3rd round. That's like the beginning of the 4th round in a 12-man ADP or 12-man league.
I like this pick.
Deebo Samuel. And if you listen to 49ers fans are like, oh, our team is amazing, but it sucks for fantasy. Just like you can rely on CMC and that's it. And I kind of agree with that. But Jason, he finished as a wide receiver 15 last No. He's being. Oh my god, I'm drinking.
Save.
He's being drafted as wide receiver 15. He finished as wide receiver 38 last year. He missed 4 games, including all of the fantasy playoffs. And now he's going before Olave, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jeudy. I'm like, dude, Jerry Judy's like way later, and I would rather have all those players over Deebo. He scored, what is this? 10 points or less in 7 of his 13 games last year. That is more than 50%. So I was talking about how bad ETN was with that. Dude, Deebo was even worse, and he was drafted so high.
Yeah.
He scored 9, 12, and 3 in 3 games with Purdy. I mean, that's okay, but like in half PPR, I really don't want that out of my wide receiver 2. He is more of a wide receiver 3, like literally. He had 8 rushing touchdowns. Oh wait.
No.
He had a 25.4% target share, which is 19th. That's not bad. But Jason, on deep targets, he only had 5, which was 108th. He only had 12 red zone targets. That was 38th. He has the 15th ranked strength of schedule, which is whatever, it's average, so you don't really add or subtract from that. His only season that he was worth this ADP was the one that he blew up. The other 3, he is not worth this ADP. And his rushing attempts went way down once CMC got there. He only has 12 reception touchdowns, Jason, in 4 seasons. He has a tight end, George Kittle, that's going to eat touchdowns. He's got a running back, Christian McCaffrey, that throws and catches it, touchdowns. And then he has Brandon Ayuk, who came on late last year and apparently is the talk of training camp. So there you go. That's all terrible. Terrible. That's Deebo Samuel for you. I just don't like his ADP right now, and it sucks because he had that one amazing year. He's like a Swiss Army knife, but it's like, dude, you can almost like draft like Curtis Samuel late and almost get the same thing.
Dude, you just made me so happy. I like want to flip this table up, man.
Woo!
So, when we were doing our rankings, I had Deebo as 25th.
I had him higher, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, then I did all the research, and I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, this is like exactly the stuff I was like just talking about on the rankings. It's like part of the reason like he got paid, and part of the reason why he's ADP was so high is because that one year, like 2 years ago, right? He had 8 rushing touchdowns. That was huge, right? He had 8 rushing touchdowns, and I think he had over like 10.
Yeah, I missed that stat. So you're right. 8 rushing touchdowns on 59 carries. Last year, only 3 rushing touchdowns on 42 carries, but he did miss games. But it was obvious, dude. I have to watch all these damn games because I live in Northern California. It was obvious they weren't using him very much.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like that year that he scored all those touchdowns. I can't even remember their running back, but but they don't need Deebo Samuel to run the ball as much because now they have Christian McCaffrey. They got that solid running back. They don't really need to depend on him that much. He's not going to get all these rushing attempts. You were hoping that when he does get a rush, he is scoring a 40-yard touchdown. And you're right, Tyler. He doesn't catch deep balls. He's the type of guy that will get a screen pass or a slant, and he's got to do the rest of the work. The one thing I did notice is that it's very difficult to like predict like the points when it comes to the receiving on the 49ers if they're all healthy, right? I think Christian McCaffrey, he's a stud. He's going to get his no matter what. But it's not until somebody actually gets hurt that other players step up and actually have really good fantasy performances.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, is he a player that is unique and could like win you a league? Yeah. Those odds are in there. But there are a lot of indicators that are saying that he is not worth his ADP. So it's like, it's a roll of the dice. You're going to have to pay the price, sacrifice. Nipsey Hussle, man. Shout out R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
You're going to have to pay the troll.
Pay the troll toll to get
into
this boy's soul.
Yeah.
Did you say hole? Okay. So anyways, that is the show. There are many other, just like sleepers. There's a lot of other players that will bust, but these are kind of like high profile busts, Jason. Like you and I both stuck to pretty high picked. Like I think Daniel Jones could be a bust, but he's getting picked late and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like these are the ones that will hurt you bad. It's like somebody coming behind you and just cutting your hamstring.
Oh,
I think that's what it's called. Like you're getting hamstrung. Like this will hamstring your team. Like just oh god, man.
Just
I want to talk about my Monday episode, Jason, but I'm not.
Just imagine being hung by your house by your hamstrings,
dude. Oh my god, that's like right now. I might do it just because I feel more pain in my brain.
Yeah, you need to like transfer your pain somewhere else just to feel normal again.
Oh, I'm about trying to headbutt stuff. I can't even hit it. I'm like 6'3". I can't even headbutt this damn lamp.
You're gonna be like Latimer, dude, from the program.
Dude, I just watched that. Spot at the table. Hey, if you guys like football,
spot at the table.
Go out there and watch a James Caan movie where he is the coach called The Program, and you will not be disappointed, okay? So go watch The Program, do some steroids, do some push-ups. That linebacker, Jason? Oh, dude, Mac the linebacker is insane.
You're the one that knocked my baby girl up, didn't you?
Oh, dude. No, you stole my mom's car.
Yeah, you stole my mom's car.
You shot my mom. I knew I'd find you.
We haven't seen you at Thanksgiving.
The running back's like, I don't know your mama. He's like, break. So,
great movie.
Hey, we live this life, guys. We live this fantasy life, man.
Yeah.
So, thank you for watching. And again, man, we really need your help with subscriptions and stuff. So, I think it was like 83% of the viewers, Jason, are not subscribed. Please subscribe.
Yeah.
Because we need it, dude. We need the money, dude, to support this family. It's like you might as well be donating to some family in freaking Zimbabwe. Because, I got no money, dude. I got no money.
All my extra money is going to my future baby.
And Jason's got a baby coming. I wasn't going to say anything, but he just said it. So, yeah, if you want to support us, it'd be amazing. Anyways.
Call me Dad.
Moving forward, I'm going to be coming out. If you want to know what draft slot is going to give you the best chance to win a championship, that video will be coming out on Monday. That is very important because if you have a draft where you can choose your slot, oh my God, you better pay attention to that. And then Jason has a what's your video coming out, Jason?
It's common draft mistakes coming out Wednesday. I'll tell you about mistakes that happen during the draft, but also how to avoid them.
Yeah, and then Jason came out with like a 6 things to know on Monday, which is really great for beginning players because, all the coaching changes and stuff. Like, if you're not into that, dude, go back and watch that if you're a new subscriber. Yeah,
we got a new person join our league this year who hasn't really paid attention to football or played fantasy in like 2 or 3 years. Like, perfect video for him to just get caught up.
Yeah, because we live this life. I don't even know what people don't know because I know more than I know about. I don't know the stuff I do at work. It's crazy.
I'm like Oppenheimer now. When I watch NFL Network, I'm like,
wrong.
Yeah. Wrong.
Oh, dude, I listen Jason, I listen to Colin Cowherd and Rich Eisen. I know more about fantasy and football in general than they do. And I'm like, you do this for a living, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, just because I know everybody's name, they're like, this guy. And I'm like, you're forgetting about the backup. Who is they drafted in the second round? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
This is your job.
I know. But you know what, dude? They've got voices and stuff. So anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. This is Jason. No. This is Tyler. Ward. And I appreciate you. Jason, send it out.
Deuces.